All right, you guys, welcome back to EXP Family Tree. We're super excited. The first of 3 sessions focused on you, your business planning, your goal setting, and the rest of this year and into 2024. So make sure that you join us not only today, but also join us next Wednesday and the Wednesday after. Today, we've got my business partner and friend and coach, Angie Gerber here, and she's going to be talking about mindset around goal setting. And I'm sure she's got some other things up her sleeve that she's excited to share with us. She mentioned when she jumped on, it's been on her heart all month. It's like, this is what she wants to do for the rest of the year, is help people set themselves up for success, not only for the last quarter, but for the new year. So without further ado, Angie, take it away. You can share your screen if you need to. You can just talk with us, whatever works for you, but you're ready to go.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Carrie. Yes, I have been really leaning into goal setting. And as I go through my presentation, I do have some slides. You'll find out a little bit more why with my journey and where I've been and where I'm going. So I will start here with the first slide. So goals and really, again, vision, success, growth, the ideas, all of that stuff is all encompassing when you're talking about setting goals. And let's see here. So first and foremost, do you have a goal? And if you have a goal, is it written down? If you have it written down, how often do you think and visit it? And I love to ask the question, is your goal worthy of you? Which we'll get to, and you'll understand a little bit more of what I mean. And is it even your goal? See, the statistics are very alarming about how many consultants, real estate agents, professionals just don't even have goals. I know a lot of the elite clients that I coach, they don't have goals. They're just like, all of a sudden, like, I'm just really busy, or I need accountability, or I don't even know how many transactions I've done this year. And it's mind blowing that you can be very successful still and not have goals, and yet imagine where you could go with goals. And if you're not where you want to be, what would that look like if you had this in place? And even your goal, and why I say that is that even your goal is, early on in my career, I had goals that I set and I had my why or my reason, but I still wasn't really connected to it. It wasn't really my irrevocable committed decision. It didn't inspire me, and therefore there was no action behind it. It was either a goal that I thought I had to have, or was set for me, or I thought someone, kind of just threw it out there and it was more their goal for me and not mine. So I think it's really important, as we're even going through this season of quarter 4 and setting goals, is thinking about that. And again, the mindset side of it, which we'll get into more. I do want this call to be completely interactive. So if you have questions, just interrupt me or throw your hand up or just start talking, because I think it's really important that, you just get out of this what I intend to, which is just a more, a bigger awareness that this can be done a different way for sure. So setting goals that matter, a lot of, and to take this to real estate wise, transactions. So when you're setting your goals, and, you need to know where you are today or where you've been in order to set your goal for next year. So thinking about, let's say you did 12 transactions, because we know that our fiscal year is usually done end of October. So really, whatever you're booking the rest of this month or have in your pipeline or considered to go under contract, maybe a couple more will sneak in there, but usually you can definitely decide and plan your year on a 10-month year, not a 12-month year. So let's say your goal is 12 transactions, and this is for 2023, and you're on track to hit your 12 transactions. So when you're going to plan for 2024, an average goal would be a goal that you've achieved before. So it would be, I'm going to do 12 transactions again in 2024. A good goal would be I've done 12, so I'm going to do 14, maybe 15. That's a good goal. I'm going to increase, but you know how to do that. I'm sure you can find 3 to 4 more transactions, even based upon getting referrals from the people you closed last year. That should be a no-brainer. What goals I want you to think about setting, and I really want you to lean into as we go through today's call, is the exceptional goal. Now, that's the goal that you have no idea how it's going to happen. The only prerequisite is that you want it and it's a desire of yours. So let's say you want to go from 12 to 40, 30, you at least double, if not triple your count. And you sit back and you think, there's no way that I could do that. Or how will that happen? And the how will be shown. What you want to do and what is your role in the goal setting process, mindset wise, is you have to want it. You have to desire it. And it's got to be something that, again, it inspires you. It's your goal and it's something that you want to do. So it's knowing where you are right now and then knowing where you want to go. And what I talk so much about in my coaching is what happens is we're all energy. And we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And a lot of people have that backwards. They think we're human beings having a spiritual experience. So I'm sure you've heard before, what you put out, you get back. It's like a boomerang effect. And what happens is when people set goals, and I know it happened to me for years before I found this information and actually started finally hitting my goals. What happened was I would set these goals. Number one, it was the wrong goal. But in setting the goal, I would look at my current circumstances. I would look at my current pipeline, or maybe my bank account, or what debt I had acquired, or, all the things of my current situation and circumstances. And I'd look at it and I'd feel a certain way. I'd come down from this lower energy. And that's what I'd put out. So that's what I'd get back. And it was just this whole circle that you just keep kind of circling around and around and around. So what the coaching that I focus on and what I help agents to do is to detach from their 5 senses in their current reality or situation or results and go to the goal. And what you want to do is you want to act and make decisions and show up from your goal. An hour after it's achieved, what does that feel like? So many agents are going to their goal. So you're starting here and you're working up to your goal. What you want to do is flip that on its head, and you want to go from your goal and think to yourself, once you get your exceptional goal, what time does Carrie wake up in the morning if she's an hour after achieving her exceptional goal? What time does Matthew take lunch? How long is his lunch? How many contacts are you making? What are you doing? What does that person have to do every day? And how do they have to show up? And you start thinking and feeling and acting from your goal, not to your goal. And that was one of the first main things that I do. And it's detaching from your current results, which is why the mindset coaching is so very important, and becoming aware of all of this. Because what happens is our habitual behaviors, which most of our behavior is habitual, run our days. And our 5 senses, which are here and meant for us to enjoy life. You hear beautiful music, you see great art, you smell fresh flowers, you see your current results. It's just all for us to enjoy life. And what we're doing is we are taking that and living from there. So it's detaching from your current results and using your higher faculties, which is perception, will, imagination, intuition, memory, and reason. And again, it's a lot, and it's interesting, but we've never really learned about our higher faculties in school. We learned about our five senses, but we didn't learn about our higher faculties and how they can show up and how we can use them to serve us, especially when setting goals. So thinking about your exceptional goal, you're not going to hit it every day. So, and what I mean by that is when you wake up in the morning, I want you to hit a goal, set a goal that both inspires you and kind of terrifies you at the same time, because you don't know how you're going to get it. And know that every day you are more than likely, if your goal is big enough and worthy enough of you, you're going to have small failures, meaning that you're going to want to get comfortable being uncomfortable and failing. And a lot of people say failing forward, but I also want you to think about failure as feedback. There really is no failing and there is no failure. It's just taking something that didn't go exactly the way you intended to do, take the feedback and then do it again. And you'll fail every day. And if you're not failing or if you're not uncomfortable, maybe even just one thing a day you're doing differently, you're comfortable. And it's not going to get you to your goal and you're not growing because, as you know, and I'm sure Carrie, you've talked about before, growth comes in uncomfortableness. You have to put yourself out there. And that's why, going back to the exceptional goal, it's really important to have a big goal that inspires you to take that action, to show up. And regardless of what other people think, that's the biggest reason I know that people don't really meet their goals or exceed them, is there's fear of failure and fear of what will they think, or what will this person say, or I don't want to look like a fool, and all of that. And it's really holding just about everyone back that's not hitting their exceptional goals. So any questions or feedback, right? Okay, good. So in the vibration that I talked about earlier, kind of the energy where you are today and where you want to go. So think about where you're at today. And again, your goal should be so exceptional that you don't know how to get it. It feels like it's at the top of a staircase or a mountain. And what you want to do is, by detaching from today and from your current results and going again to your goal, what you're going to do is you're going to raise your vibration to that frequency, and you're going to raise. So it's really important to think about how often throughout the day you can reconnect to your exceptional goal. And this is where the habitual behaviors and the paradigms and what we do daily will sneak in. So it's having the tools and resources and understanding that when that happens, to catch it right away and to take whatever, I could do it tomorrow, or, I did 7 calls yesterday, I don't need to do any today, or, all the excuses and the reasons that we give ourselves not to show up and do what we know we need to do in order to get to the goal. So it's through catching that as it's happening, and then taking your vibration and taking the energy you're in and shifting it up and coming from your goal. So I know I'm talking about this a lot, but it's really where a lot of the magic, as some people would call it, happens. Because what we'll do is our paradigms and our habitual behaviors will fight us every step of the way. When you have a goal that you don't know how to get, they'll try to pull you back down or tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't, or you can't, or you don't need to, or maybe you're not worthy enough, or who am I to think I could do this? So it's really letting that go and just focusing on your exceptional goal and coming from it, for sure. So what I like to talk about is really dreaming big. So what exercise my first coach and mentor, Bob Proctor, had me do, and my mentor right now has me do, is for 7 days, he had me write down, if you could wake up tomorrow morning and do exactly what you want to do with whom you want to do it with, wherever, and think about your financial goal, think about your business goal, think about your spirituality goal, think about your relationships, think about where you want to live, what you want to do. And if we're talking business and real estate, think about what a perfect day in your real estate business would be. And what I want you to do is, you can't fail. Failure is not an option. So write out what that looks like. What are you doing? Where are you going? And really let everything out that wants to come out, and nothing is too big or outrageous, and just feel into it. And then you do that again the next day. And I encourage you to do that exercise for 7 days. I started off with half a page. I ended up with 4. And if I had gone with day 1, I would have missed out so much greatness and so much of what I want. And because you'll add to it every day, you'll be like, oh, what about this? What about that? And all of a sudden, your mind will shift, and you will start thinking of all the ways that you can do this, or your mind will start thinking and giving you, suggestions and ideas. And that's when your intuition will pop up, and you'll get those little hits on who to call or where to go. And start listening to your intuition as you're starting to think bigger, and as you're starting to go towards your exceptional goal. You really want to act right away. So it's dreaming big, setting that exceptional goal. And then the third step is really taking action. If you're not taking action, and if you're not failing every day, or working and being uncomfortable and doing something that, you're not quite sure if it will work or maybe how to do it, but do it scared and do it anyway. That's when the universe rewards us, is when we take action and we get into movement, and we earn the right to get this big exceptional goal that we're going after. So I put this slide in here because it really truly is about waking up like that. Like, are you jumping out of bed? Or when your alarm goes off, are you snoozing? Are you rolling back over? Are you giving yourself all the reasons not to get out of bed, or you're just not inspired? If that's happening, I can guarantee you probably don't have a goal. And if you do have a goal, you're not connected to your goal. You're not excited about it. It doesn't inspire you. Because what you want to do is, every day you wake up, you think about it as day 1. It's not just one day. It's day 1. And you've made an irrevocable, committed decision that you are going to go after your goal no matter what. Today is the day. So every day you recommit to 3 to 5 activities that you're going to do to move your business forward, and you want to look at 1% better every day. So my mentor has me focusing on 3, because really 5 might be too many. If 3 is too many, pick 1. But you want to do something that, again, pushes you to your goal. So you come from your goal and get you a little uncomfortable, but will move your business forward. It's really quite important to take the action and then be inspired every day. And you're not going to be inspired, and you're not going to take action, and you're not going to make the list, you're not going to do the 1 to 3 things if your goal is not big enough, and if you're not connected to it. So that's why goal setting is so very important. And it's setting the right goal, because I think so many people, number one, like I said, don't have a goal. And if they have a goal, it's not the right goal for them. So, and I love to talk about the 5 non-negotiables in goal setting and in going for your goal throughout the whole year. And this is what changed everything for me. Again, I got into real estate in 2014. For the first few years, I didn't hit my goals. I would go, fly. I was at a brokerage where, we flied every quarter somewhere, and we got really excited, and we listened to speakers. We went to conferences. We had our own little workshops, and really anyone can motivate you for a short period of time. But nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you don't go in and actually, switch out your habitual behaviors, you're going to end up right back in the seat you were sitting, maybe a couple days later, or a week later, very uninspired and not really wanting to do what you need to do to get to your goal. So again, the first thing you do is the irrevocable committed decision that this is your goal and you're going to get it no matter what. And you're going to go after it, and every day you're committed to your goal and coming from your goal, not trying to work to your goal. And then the discipline. So I know I touched base on this a little bit earlier. What does that person that's already achieved your goal do? Because I can tell you one thing, if someone out there has already achieved what you intend to do, there's absolutely no reason why you can't do the same thing. If you think about that, it's just the behavior. See, we are our only problem and our only solution. So it's really about creating disciplines and sticking to them. And that's where the mindset comes in, and controlling the habitual behaviors and the paradigms and all the reasons and excuses and thoughts that will pop up of why you don't need to do it. And then the standard. So setting your standard, set your standard high. And what happens so many times is agents will drop their standard down for a situation, or drop their standard down when it gets hard or when a discipline comes up that they need to do. What you want to do is you want to set your standard and hold it. And what will happen is the things around you in the way, the circumstances, the money, the opportunity, the clients, they'll be shown to you. But so many people start, stop, or this isn't working. It's been 90 days. I'm not getting results. So the consistency isn't there. I know, especially with the new agents I coach, the main thing is consistency and showing up every day for 90 days and doing your lead gen or doing your prospecting or going out, and they call making friends and having conversations. Because you're not seeing immediate results, a lot of people pull back, and agents that have been doing this for 20 plus years that I coach are doing the same thing. So it's really about setting a standard and showing up, because if you set your standard and you keep lowering it, your self-image takes a hit. So in doing that, you're not keeping your word even to yourself. So the self-image will take the hit for sure. Yeah. And it's really important to work on your self-image every day. You should be looking at how you can get 1% better every day, meaning that look at yesterday and beat your best every day. Beat yesterday. Only compete with yourself. So many people compete with other people, or they hold themselves up to someone else's standard. You want to set your standard and work on your self-image every day. And I know if you do that, and if you commit to becoming 1% better every day and beating your best today, right now, in this moment, you are the worst version of yourself you will ever be. You think about that, because you want to keep leveling up. And then attitude. Attitude is a compilation of your thoughts, what we think, we feel, and based upon how we feel, we act. And based upon our actions, we get our results. So if you look at your current results today, and they're not what you want, and it's not happening, back it up through your actions, how you're feeling, and start with your thoughts. It's really what I talk to most people about right away is first I have them do a time study of what they're doing every day and how they're showing up in their business. And then really watch what you're doing. Watch what you're listening to. Watch what conversations you're having. What are you surrounding yourself with? Who are the top 5 people you're surrounding yourself with? And really think about the environment you're in, because the environment has such an impact and an effect on us and how we show up for ourselves and for others and for our clients and in our relationships, all part of our life. I know if you've ever read or know about the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he interviewed 500 of the most wealthy, successful people at that time. And he said they virtually disagreed on everything but one point, and one point only. And that is that we become what we think about. So I really encourage you to think about your thoughts. We have about, I think it's 60,000 thoughts a day on average, and 80% of them are negative. And if you're coming from that space, and if you're coming from those thoughts, it's really difficult to go from where you are to where you want to be, especially if your goal is exceptional. So that's where it's really quite important to look at all these 5 non-negotiables. I mean, pick one even. A lot of times I'll have my clients start with one that they're going to work on and really focusing on it. A lot of people, it's decision, it's discipline, but I say self-image too, because you're never going to outperform your self-image. So what your self-image and what you hold of yourself, your worthiness, what your thoughts are, what energy and vibration you are in is what you're putting out and what you're getting back. You cannot outperform your self-image. So again, if your results aren't what you want them to be, look at that. And I always say we are in the best time to be alive, I think, because if you can't get into the rooms, if you can't fly across the country or go here or go there or pay to be part of this mastermind or whatnot, you can find it. You can find the podcast. You can go on YouTube. You can read books. I have plenty I can offer you if you want to have a starting point. Carrie, she's amazing. She offers her time to anyone. And she is a wealth of information and knowledge. And if she doesn't know it or know how to do it, or she can get you to where you need to go in order to get it in the real estate world. So start leaning into all the free resources we have instead of sitting and doing the same thing day after day after day and expecting different results, because it's really not going to happen. With that said, I am focused on helping agents this year. For the rest of the year, I'm hosting a goal setting workshop, which I will dive deep into the mindset part of it, the 5 non-negotiables. A lot of it's the gratitude, the attitude, what an exceptional goal is, what your paradigms are. There's so many different buzzwords around mindset, but I actually have drawing that will explain to you mindset and how the conscious mind, the subconscious mind are different, and yet how they can work together in order to get you from where you are to where you want to be. It's phenomenal and amazing. And it's already started. I have bonus material available, but I've promised everyone that's joining, I will absolutely over deliver. And it is stuff that once you know and you're aware of, you can't unknow. And it truly does shift everything for you. I know I've had people that have done similar workshops that within the first 2 to 3 months, it's a different person. It's just so amazing to watch. So I wanted to offer that as well on this call to all of you, because I've made it I want the time frame and the price. It's affordable, and it's a 6 to 8 week workshop, depending on how much of the bonus material you consume. But it's going to be, it changed everything for me. And I know nothing changes if nothing changes. And I just take all the information that Bob Proctor taught me, and I continue to study every day with my mentor and coach and all of my programs, and bring it to real estate agents to help them truly get to where they want to go. Yeah.
So I love this. So did everybody get the QR code?
Oh.
Maybe pop it up one more time.
I can
Everybody
go
got
back.
it?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Questions, comments.
Yeah.
What do you have to shift in your mindset as you get ready for your goals and the end of the year, the new year? Any ahas that anybody wants to share?
I want to say I'm in that group that does not have plan, but I've been thinking about it and I feel like I'm lost because I've been with EXP since June. And so I'm kind of isolated where I'm in a whole different city than my mentor. So it's like all of a sudden I got to do everything because this brokerage is different because all the marketing stuff isn't done for you, even though you should still do some on your own. So I'm just realizing that and I've been working on trying to figure out what to do. I wish there was a step by step and I can just look at it, plug in a couple of things, that I've already committed to.
So we do have all the marketing done for you in your marketing.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can.
Audrey, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So you do have all your marketing done for you through the marketing suite, and they just updated all of the marketing. It was just announced at EXPCon. So it sounds like maybe you're not as familiar with some of the things that you can use. So what I would suggest is be more active here in EXP Family Tree, come to the Wednesdays. We also have a really, really good coaching program that's going on that people are taking advantage of, so that you aren't doing that on your own, but there's tons of resources that you might be missing. So reach out to me on work chat. I can kind of point you in the right direction on some of those things if you'd like.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So anybody else?
Yeah.
Shannon, Matthew, Lisa, Essence, you guys have any comments before we pop off?
Yeah. I mean, I could talk about this all day long.
I think Shannon's got some.
Yeah, I was just going back to your 7 days of like if you could wake up and do whatever you wanted. As far as structuring that, do you go through, like when you did yours, did you go through and do?
You don't tell me it looks like Ashley.
Oh, sorry, mute. There you go. That's okay. Somebody was unmuted. Okay, go ahead.
Do you go through and do like each portion of your life, like what because like I'm like when I picture what I want to do, if I could do anything the next day, like it's different based on like what the ultimate goal is, to be like less in the business instead of on the business. But like if I want to do it in the next 5 years, it's going to be different than what I want in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what I would say is maybe take it for a year. So let's say a year out, or December 31st, 2024, when you're at the end of the year and we're setting the goals for 2024. And yes, I did every area. I mean, I took the person who like the music I like, and I'm like, I'm VIP, front row, listening, and then I get to go backstage. I mean, like really like that type of a thing. And spiritually, where do I want to be, and where am I taking vacations? Where's my second home at? And where all the things, and who am I doing business with, and what do I really want to be doing? So I think especially if you want to work more on your business, not in your business, working on leverage and finding someone to also talk to you about that. I didn't understand any of that when I started in this business, and I ran myself crazy ragged, and I almost lost my marriage. I almost lost everything, because this is a whole nother part of the workshop. But when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something. And what are you saying no to? And it's so very important to understand that. And leverage is such a key thing in order to get you from where you are to where you want to go, in just about any case, in any career, in any industry. So I love that. That's your goal. That's a great one. And it's attainable. And think about where you want to go. And there are people that have probably already done that. So it's very, very possible. It's just getting you in the mindset and structuring it and understanding and taking the steps to get there, for sure. Yeah. Love it.
It's definitely what I struggle with. I struggle like sitting down and actually thinking about it. Like I have like a fuzzy picture about it, but then I see a squirrel or my phone goes off or whatever it may be. And I don't like really sit there and sit in it and actually picture it.
Well,
so
and I love that. And I talk about too in the program is sprints. So it's really about first mastering a 30-minute sprint or 15-minute sprint, even, because our attention spans are so short now. I mean, so if you start with 15 minutes or half hour, once you master that, you go to 60 minutes or 40 minutes and work your way up. But what that is truly all distractions off. I'm talking your computer's off, your phone's on airplane mode, you grab your pen, you grab your paper. And I have clients that are just, they're like, do not say the word journal to me. I will hang up on you. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, voice record it. Like I will walk around and put my memo on. We all usually have them on our phones. And sometimes it's 3 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes. And I will just sit there and talk and imagine and dream and then listen to that 2 to 3 times a day. Listen, when you wake up in the morning and right before you go to sleep is when your subconscious mind is the most open. So that's the best time to be listening to this and to be using your imagination, one of your higher faculties. And it's really about, it's not about checking a box. Like these are not activities where you're like, did that, did that, did that. If you're doing that, then just don't waste your time. What you want to do is you want to feel it. You want to connect to it. That's why I talk about feeling your goal an hour after you've achieved it and coming from there. And what does that feel like? And what have you done? What does your day look like? But feeling it, if you're not connecting to the emotion of it, nothing's going to change. And that's where I was so off for years. I wasn't connecting to anything. I was in the hurry. I was in the, oh crap. I was in the, just the chaos of everything and not taking that time and that space to really build this the way it can be built. And I didn't understand. I didn't know what a paradigm was. I didn't understand mindset. The first thing I found was gratitude. And you have to be grateful for where you are today and what you have in order to invite anything in, and then it was worthiness and just really understanding that this is for me. I can have it. There's no reason I can't. I'm just holding myself back.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I just did a recommendation for anybody else in that aspect of like taking charge of your problems and stuff. I read Extreme Ownership. Have you heard of that or read it?
Yeah.
Loved that book. That changed so much for me.
That's awesome.
I feel a lot more control like over my life and over situations, and
So
huge shift on that one.
love it. Thank you. Wow.
Awesome. Really, really good stuff. Anybody else? Matthew, did you have something you were going to add?
No, I really enjoyed it. That was really good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining as always. Pass it on to all those agents that you're talking to, because you can grab it from my YouTube channel if you want to pass it along to anybody. Has value. Awesome.
It's not like any goal setting exercise or workshop that I never sat through or did, or, a lot of times when I did them, I would put them away in a drawer and maybe look at them. I mean, that even happens to most of the agents that I'm coaching now, if they've done it at all. It's just an exercise. And it's just checking a box or getting it done or saying they did it. But if they're not connecting to it and doing it for the right reasons, it's just a waste of time, to be honest. Yeah. Okay.
I love it. Yeah, it was awesome. You always do. So the first part is the mindset. The first part is understanding really how you should be thinking about goals, because we can go through actions, but if we're not attaching ourselves to them, if we aren't really feeling those things, if we don't believe them, if they're not our own, if we're not in the correct mindset, then the actions don't really lead to any results. And so that is a really critical piece. If you want more information, Angie put a QR code up. I would definitely stay in touch with her. You can work chat Angie too, because she's in EXP's workplace work chat, or if you guys aren't at EXP and you want to be connected to her, just reach out to me if that's how you got here and I can make the connection. Angie does have some different programs if you feel called that way. And if not, she comes in here every so often and does free trainings for us. And just right now we're really focusing on end of the year and new year for you guys. So take this information, maybe watch this again, think about some different things, get yourself in the right mindset, and then join us back in 2 weeks with some written down goals that you have for your life and your business. And then we can go through a little bit more about what that looks like from an activities perspective when we do another bit of goal setting and planning together in 2 weeks on Wednesday, same time, same place. Also, next week, tax strategies. Keep more of your money, invite a guest, invite a friend if you'd like to, but that's at the same time, also same Zoom link next Wednesday. So hope to see you guys there. Angie, as always, thank you. I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you both so much.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.